the second bass note. Don't hit that bass. And when we come back for the slaps, only do one of them like this. So we've taken away the second bass note and the second slap. So instead of, we now have this. Pretty easy, right? Everybody got that one? Cool. So that's, actually, we're going to be doing that one later today. That's Djembe 1 from Cuckoo. But you'll see that pop up in other things as well. Now, if we take away, let's take away one more bass note, like this. Yes, like this. Took away one more note. Now we've got Djembe 2 from Djembe, right? So all this from that one, all we did was take a note away, put a note in, slide some notes around a little bit. Didn't change it that much, and already we've got a few different things. Now, if we go back to the original thing, right? For those who are just joining us, we're talking about some foundational rhythms that we can use to build a whole bunch of other rhythms in the West African tradition, the Djembe orchestra tradition. And as I stated before, I'm doing the traditional handing. You don't have to do that if that's not your experience, your thing. The traditional handing, if you did want to do it, is always right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And that's including spaces. So I might have note, space, note, note, like that, so that the spaces count as well. All right, so the first foundational rhythm we looked at, we're going to review it real quick here to go on to the next rhythm, is bass, tone, tone, bass, slap, slap. Easy enough, right? Take away all the basses. Keep the tones and the slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Fun because it's all on the upbeats. It's kind of nifty. In any kind of a jam or a drum circle type of situation, that usually fits in really well because it's usually a counter to everything else that's going on, but not in such a way that it becomes a distraction. It just adds a nice little point of interest against the rhythm that everybody else might be playing. And so that way you stand out a little bit, you make the music a little more interesting, right? And you're not distracting in any way. So that one works out. All these rhythms will work out in a jam situation that we've talked about so far, but that one works out very well. Use that one a lot. So just to quickly review, I'll start with the first one, then I'm going to take a bass away and a slap away, then I'm going to take another bass away, and then we'll end up with the one we just did, right? So we're going to run through all the rhythms we just did real quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see all that from one rhythm. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 traditional rhythms, all from, starting with that one rhythm. All right. Any questions on those couple of guys? Anybody have any questions? Good. It's simple stuff, right? I mean, it's supposed to be simple, right? All right, cool. Simple and fun, right? All right. Now, on to the most common djembe rhythm in the freaking world, right? I think everybody knows this, but we'll go over it because it is a very basic rhythm, and it's very important. You'll encounter this all the time. Slap, 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 tone, tone, slap, 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 tone, tone. Go with that one, right? I think we all know that one, right? All right, cool. Since you already know that one, let me throw you something else at you. There's a variation where you put in a bass note like this. How'd you guys do with that one, all right? Any questions? It's a little tricky getting that first bass, that second bass in there, or that bass in there, right? It's on the and of 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right? How'd you guys do, okay? All right, seeing some nods? Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to do one more of these foundational kind of rhythms in like a binary or a 2 or a 4 based feel. And then we're going to do a couple in a ternary or a 3 based feel. Can't have those. Can't not have some 6/8 in there, right? So this is a very common part if there's a third djembe part. If you have enough people to have a first djembe part, a second djembe part, a third djembe part. This is a real nice third djembe part. It's very common. And you can make variations of the same idea. You'll see it in a second. Generally speaking, the first djembe part is usually played by the highest pitched djembe. The second djembe part would be played by the next highest pitched. And the third djembe part is usually played by a lower pitched djembe. Now, it doesn't have to be really, really low, but it's lower pitched than the other two. And here's what that part is. Tone, tone, bass, bass, tone, tone. So right on the beat. Tone, tone, bass, bass, tone, tone. Tone, tone, bass, bass, tone, tone. How'd you guys do with that, okay? Yeah, it's easy, right? Good. So that's a real common third djembe part. Slap, 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 tone, tone, very common second djembe part. Sometimes it's a first djembe part, but most of the time it's a second djembe part. And then the first bunch of rhythms, they would all make great first djembe parts, and all of them can work together. And that's the important thing, not just in the West African tradition, but But if you're jamming with people, when somebody's doing one of those things, do one of the other ones, and you know they're going to lock in. You know they're going to fit. You know they go together. Cool. All right. Got to know how to accessorize your parts, right? All right. So check this out. Ternary or three-based rhythms, 6/8, 12/8. If you going by Western music, there's two very, very common parts. I call them the yin and yang of 6/8 parts. Because you see one, you almost always see the other. They almost always come as a pair, at least in the beginning. Later on, when you get into the very advanced rhythms, you see some different things. But in the beginning, you see these two rhythms, and they're like buds. You see one, you see the other. That kind of thing. And they're very simple. They both have slaps on 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they both do that. Now, Djembe 1, or the one that is usually Djembe 1, I should say, has a tone on the beat of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 2, 5, 6. 7, 2, 5, 6. 5, 6. Good? That's an easy one, right? All right, cool. Now it's partner in crime. It's kind of the reciprocal. You still have those slaps on 1 and 4, but we're going to have tones on 5 and 6, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slap, 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 slap. All right, how'd you guys do? Easy stuff, right? All right, cool. So those are just some very basic rhythms. The first bunch were in binary or 2/4, 4/4 type of feel, and those last two in ternary feel. So you've got two different feels to play with. Hopefully, time permitting, we'll get to play a little bit of both of those things. Now I want to talk about, real quickly, just some rhythms. They're not necessarily djembe rhythms. We're going to see them on the bell when we play the Dunamba over here. Or actually, this is a sangban, but when we play our dunes, we're going to play these bell rhythms. But these rhythms are very basic, and they're very common to many, many, many types of rhythms all over the world, right? So these are great things to have in your hands and understand in your mind. The first one we're going to look at is a 5-note pattern. If you want, you can muffle your djembe and play it on that if you want instead of clapping. But it's just 1 and up, the and, 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 1. Who remembers the Muppet Show? Everybody remember the Muppet Show? Right at the end of the theme song. That's that rhythm right there. It's literally everywhere. It's based on the first 3 notes of the son clave. Right, you can hear those notes in there. Right, so it's very, very common. It's just a rhythm that humans from every part of the globe know and like and dance to and play all the time. Now, we're going to take that and we're going to put 4 even notes after it. Back-a-dack-a-dat-dat-dat-dat-dat. 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 Back-a-dack-a-dat, 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4.
Do a sound check, make sure they can hear you okay.
Is this coming through okay? Everybody can hear it okay? Okay, good, good. Everybody get that rhythm? It's pretty easy, right? Now those 4 notes, you can put them in the front. Right? You can put them in front of that 5-beat rhythm. Or you can split it up. Put 2 in the front, 2 in the back. 1. So it's the same exact rhythm, you're just starting in different spots, right? So it's a very, very common rhythm all over the world. You see it all of the time on the bells for the dunes. So it's a really good one to have in your hands. It's a really good one to recognize with your ear, and in any of its incarnations there. You know, starting with the, ending with the 4 notes, starting with the 4 notes, or the 4 notes are split up like bookends. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. Right? You see, it's all the same rhythm. You just start in a different spot, right? You see that, right? If you just start on the second half, or if you start on the end. But it's always ba 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 ba. It just ends. Depends on where you start. You can start that rhythm on any of those notes. You can start it on those doubles too. So it's really versatile that way. You can actually start on any one of those notes. So a very good one to have. All right. Any questions on those? Good? All right, cool. Now, let's do some quick bell stuff in ternary thing, and then we'll jump into trying to put this whole djembe orchestra thing together. All right, so check this out. You're counting to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The most common one of these bell rhythms goes like this. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anybody who's listened to jazz or blues knows that rhythm. It's just a simple shuffle rhythm, right? Everybody's familiar with that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Right? The other two, a little trickier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For something like that, it's best if you tap your foot and don't play when you tap your foot. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good? Yes? All right, cool. And then the other one. It's weird at first, but it's not all that bad. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, go. Right? Now again, they're all 2 notes out of 3, so they all, without any kind of rhythmic reference, they all sound like this. They all sound like that. It all depends on where the beat is. Check it out. Completely different, right? Right? My hand's doing the exact same thing for all three of those. It's just where the beat is. That's all that is. That's it. Any questions on any of that stuff? Good. All right, cool. We're doing great. Now, what time do we have?
5:30.
All right, nice. Okay, cool. All right, so today we're going to look at a thing called Cuckoo. It's fun to play. The bass drums are fun and they're not too difficult. Djembes are both fun and they're not too bad, too hard to get. And it's just a really blast of a rhythm. It was originally played for the fish harvest. It still is, but at this point it's become such a popular rhythm. They play it at every festival you can think of. You know, I mean, they just love playing Cuckoo because it's just so much fun. It's usually fast. We won't go that fast, but it's usually very fast, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, we already kind of looked at Djembe 1, but we'll talk about that again real quick. So we've got a bass on 1, then we've got 2 tones, and then a slap on the and of 2. That's it. 1, 2. Right? That's it. If you're doing a traditional handing, my left hand's only going to play 1 note. The rest of them are all going to be on my strong hand. If you're not doing traditional handing, don't worry about that. Right? 1, 2. That's it. Let's try and loop it. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and. How'd we do? Good? We already did it earlier, right? So it shouldn't be too bad? Okay, cool. All right, before we jump into Djembe 2, with traditional stuff, there's a signal that they play, or a call. Everybody's got a different word for it. Signal or a call. It's a break is another word. Now, going way back, there used to be a call for the musicians, and that would start the song. And then there was a call for the dancers that would change their steps, right? At this point, it's pretty much always the dancer's call is what we're using. Every once in a while, there's a different call in the beginning, but most of the time, it seems like most of those things, we've lost them over here on this side of the Atlantic here. But anyway, so they play this little signal, and it just gives you the tempo. Instead of saying and a 1, and a 2, you go. So you would play, while I'm playing that call, you just play right through it, and we all end on that boop at the end there. And to anybody who doesn't know what's going on, it sounds like magic. How'd they know how to stop all at the same time? And that's all it is. It's very simple stuff. All right. So anyway, so what I'm going to try and do is use the call instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do that Djembe 1 part one more time, and we'll jump into Djembe 2. Here we go. Just a little bit quicker. How'd we do? All right? Excellent. Thumbs up. That's what I like to see. All right, cool. Djembe 2. This one's fun. This, to me, this puts the cuckoo in Cuckoo, because that's what it sounds like. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. I keep hearing that in my head anyway. So anyway, tone, tone, slap, tone, tone, slap. Tone, tone, slap, tone, tone, slap. So the first 2 are kind of on their own, and then these next 4 are connected. Right? Now, if you do that slap with your left hand, if you're right-handed, you do the slap with your left hand, you end on your strong hand, so you can begin again on your strong hand. You don't have to. That's the traditional handing. Do what feels comfortable, but that's all it is. Do do ga do do ga do do ga do do ga tone tone slap tone slap tone tone slap tone slap. So you see those two tones kind of hang by themselves, and then the other four notes bap boop boop bap all connected. Bap boop boop bap. How'd you guys do with that? All right? It's a fun one, right? All right. Let's try it with the call. Ready? We do okay? Excellent. All right, cool. So right now, I recorded these tracks. Can we pull that thing up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I recorded these tracks. I'm going to have Kimbo bring these up for a second here. Actually, silent everything except the djembes. Just click right there on that. Yep. Yes. Right there. Yep. Click. Yep. Yep. Skip the djembes and go down to the shaker. Okay, go back up to the dune, you turned it back on. Yeah. See the blue one in the middle? Yeah. Turn that back on, off. Turn the djembes on, that one, and then one below it. There we go, and then turn the shaker ray off.
Is this djembe on?
That, it's off now, turn it back on. There you go, all the way down the bottom, shaker ray off. Off. There we go. Okay. All right, cool guys. All right, so we're gonna play this, and you'll hear the two djembe parts together. And pick the one you want to play. You can play one or two. So let's take a listen and play along. Cool. Yeah, just leave it like that for right now. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's the djembe parts. I know that was a lot quicker than we were going. How'd you guys do with it? Were you able to play with it a little bit? Good, good, good. Okay, cool. All right.
Make sure they know to play one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was going back and forth so they could jump into whichever one they wanted to play. Okay, so anyway, any discussion of the djembe orchestra, you can't leave out the dunes. They're just as important, in some ways even more important, because that's where the melody comes from. That's really what the dancers are listening to, because that's the melody of the song. That's how I could play djembe parts and they might not know what it is. It could be 3, 4 different things. As soon as you play the dune parts, it's one thing and one thing only. As soon as you hear it dune, oh, that's such and such. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. You know it instantly. So I didn't want to bring up all 3 bass drums up 2 flights of stairs. So I brought up one bass drum, and I'm going to use it for all of them, but I have them recorded so you'll be able to hear them and what they really sound like. So we're going to hang on a second here, Kimbo. right. So if you don't know, they go in size order from smallest to largest. The kinkini is the smaller drum. It's a little bit smaller diameter than this, and about the same depth as this, but a little smaller diameter. For the kinkini, it's the highest pitch. It also has the highest pitch bell. This is the sangban. It's the middle pitch drum. Has a middle pitch bell. And then the Dunamba, it's probably about 17 inches around, and it's probably about 2 feet wide. It's a big, low-sounding drum with a nice low-sounding bell. So we're going to make this one suffice for all of our bits today. So for Cuckoo, we're going to start with the kinkini part. It's nice and simple. Basically, we're going to play 1E, 2E, 1E, 2E. Right? If you think of 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 2E and the pa 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 pa. Right? So you can do this like a lot of times when I do, let's see if you can see this, when I'm at a Djembe workshop or something and they're showing the dunes, back up so you can see, I'll kind of do the bell like this, and then tap the drum like this, so you can go and kind of tap on your djembe and just get a high sound and a lower sound, so you know one's a drum and one's a bell. In this instance, they're both exactly the same. Ga 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 ga. Goes right with the tones of Djembe 2. Boo-doo, ga-doo-doo da, doo-doo, ga-doo-doo da, 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 ga-doo-doo da. Right, goes right with those tones on Djembe 2. Right? Actually, play what you played before, except take out Djembe 1 this time.
Is this Djembe 1?
Yep. Nope. Sorry, that's Djembe 2. Put this one back in. Take that one out. My fault. Take that one out. There we go. Play that. All right, so you'll hear the call and you're going to hear, whoops, take this out. There we go. Okay, you're going to hear the call, and then the pre-recorded Djembe 2, and I'll play the song, or the kinkini part. Here we go.
Trying to go all the way back.
Yep.
I'm trying.
Okay, from the top.
Give me a second here.
I know. All right. So I don't know if that worked because I couldn't even hear that. As soon as I played the drum, I couldn't hear anything over the drum. But anyway, it goes right with those tones on Djembe 2. So if you sing Djembe 2, boo-doo, ga-doo-doo da, doo-doo, ga-doo-doo da, 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 ga-doo-doo da. Right? So that's the kinkini part, the highest of the dunes, right? Were you guys able to kind of tap that out on your drum a little bit? Both hands are doing exactly the same thing. Right? Okay, cool. All right. The sangban part. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the bell. That's right. Okay, cool. So remember that 5-beat pattern I was talking about? That's the bell part for this, right? Da, da, ga, da, ga, ga. Now there's some muffs in there too. There's two different sounds you get out of the dunes here. I don't know if you can see this. There's an open sound and there's a muff sound where you just touch the head like this. Right? Now you're not trying to make a sound like, you know, hit it real hard. You don't have to hit it hard. You just tap it. So it's like the. Right, so don't worry about that just now. You know, let's just get the drum bit in there, right? Da, da, ga, da, ga, ga. How'd you guys do with that, okay? This is really tough not being able to hear what you're doing. Okay, cool. All right, so that's that. All right, and then the Dunamba, big drum. So we've got remember when we were doing those common rhythms, common bell rhythms, the 5-note rhythm, followed by 4 8 notes? That's what this one is. 1, 2, and 4, and 1. 3 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 and 4, and 1. How'd you guys do? Did you get that? Yeah, it's a little tricky, right? Okay, cool. Now check this out. The key to the dunes, actually the key to West African music, when you're listening to something you don't understand what it is just yet, you know, you're trying to figure it out, find one bell that stands out to you. Doesn't matter which one, the one that stands out to you. Listen to that bell. Listen to it and listen, and then you start to, okay, wait, okay, all right, I hear this pattern, okay. And memorize that pattern, right? Now you've got a reference point. Now try and listen to the drum associated with that bell, if you can, right? And then go, okay, all right, oh, I see it happens there. Okay, cool. And then you just keep referring every other part back to that bell part that you understand, right? So anyway, with the dunes, whenever you're learning the dune part, I always tell people, start with the bell. If you get the bell, the drum part's right inside of that bell. Right? So that's the bell part. Pretty simple. Now let's figure out where these drums go. 1 and 1 and 1. So on that ba-ba-da, right? That first little double you do on that second note. Okay, that's not so bad. Ah, right at the end of the measure, we get 2 little notes in there. 3 and 4. So that first measure, 1 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. How did we do with that part so far? Good? Excellent. Second measure. 1, 3, and 4, and that's it. Just 2 notes. 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, one more time, 3, 4, and 1, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. How do we do with that? All right? Got that second half? Cool. Now, the trick is when you put the first and second half together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, and 1. 3 and 4, and 1. 3, 4, and 1. 3 and 4, and 1. 3, 4, and 1. 3 and 4, and 1. 3 and 4. How'd we do? A little better?
Yeah.
A little better? Okay, we'll do it a few more times. That's all right. We got it. Cool. All right, here we go. Any specific questions or just repetition? Repetition. Here we go. Okay. Brak, da, ga, yeah. Brak, da, ga, 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 and pa. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3 and 4, and 1. 2, 3 and 4, and 1. 3, 3 and 4, and 1. 3, 3 and 4, and 1. 3, 4, 1. 3 and 4, and 3, 4, 1. 3 and 4. How'd we do? A little better? All right, now I see some thumbs. Cool. So that's it. That's the different doing parts. Now check this out. We'll see if we can get this to work. So shut off the djembe there, Kimbo, and turn on the 3 bass drum. Actually, you know what? We'll put them on in one at a time. We're going to try this on the fly. We'll see what happens. All right, cool. So actually, let's start with the kinky. Turn that one on by itself. Okay. And then go back to the beginning, please.
I don't know how to go back to the beginning.
Okay, that's close enough.
All right.
And play and turn it up as loud as you can. So that's that kicking part. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Both hands doing exactly the same thing, right? All right. Let's shut that off for a moment. And let's go back to the beginning and get that samba in there. You see the arrow next to the play? Hit that. There you go.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
Where am I going?
Sangban right there.
This one?
All right, this is the sangban part. on that, okay? All right, let's hear that Dunamba.
Is that here?
Yep. All right, this is the Dunamba, the last one we were doing there. Oh, you shut it off.
No, it was the end of it, I think.
All right, take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Hit stop. What's that
See
say?
what happened.
No, it wasn't the end.
Okay.
Okay, try it again. So that's what the whole thing, or at least the Dune part, completely together sounds like, right? Pretty neat thing, right? It's kind of fun, right? All right, so check this out. Let's back that up to the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
And what kind of time do we have?
it's 6 now.
Okay, we're going to 6:30, right?
Yeah.
Good, we got time. Good. Okay, cool. We at the beginning?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's yeah, put in Djembe 1 and 2. Put it in the shaker too. Put it all in. Not that. Not the ballet. It's shaker, yes, not the ballet. There you go. There you go. And Djembe 1. There we go.
That's not it. That's it.
And Djembe 2 above it. 1. There you
Okay.
go. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do now is play the whole bit so you can hear the whole thing, and then at some point, jump in there, once you feel the groove there, jump in and play any one of the parts that we talked about. If you want to play the kinkini part on your drum, do that. Songban, Dunamba, Djembe 1, Djembe 2, try them all. Do a little bit of one, do a little bit of another. We'll let it play for a couple minutes so you'll have a chance to try all the parts if you'd like. Or stick with one and see if you can hold it the whole time, because that's a whole nother trick to this game. Stuff. All right. All right. How'd you guys do? Did you try all the different things, or did you try like one thing and just try and hold it? How'd you do? Everybody did okay? Excellent. Cool. Does anybody have any questions on this rhythm? It's pretty straightforward, but there's some little tricks in there. Everybody's good with it? Seems like we are. All right. Cool. All right. So what I want to talk about, actually, you know what, before we go any further, hang on one second.
Yeah, while you're doing that, tell them to put their names in.
You say
all right. Hey all, I'm the voice from the side here. We've got a video we can send you, not of the whole practice, but of things related. If you want to put your email in the chat box, we'll make sure you get a video, after the class. Within a couple of days, we'll send it out. So if you're interested in getting some more information, I think all of you signed up for, you were here for the drum circle, and we sent out the video for, was it tone control? I think we did. Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful for you. So we've got some other things. So go ahead and put your stuff in the chat, and we'll get you taken care of and get you something else after this too.
So that was Kim. She's been helping us out with doing all the mousing over there. It's hard to mouse and drum at the same time. So we've been playing a thing called Cuckoo. It's a rhythm from the Manyan people of the Guinea forest region and the Ivory Coast. And like I said, it was played for the fish harvest, and it's become such a popular rhythm. It's played at literally everything. And that speed that we were just playing it at, that wouldn't even be where they would start. It would be like a lot faster than that. It would probably get faster throughout the day. It's a fun one, and it can go really, really fast, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, in the last little bit that we've got here, good, we've got some time. So I wanted to talk about one other rhythm. If we don't have any questions on that one, I want to talk about another rhythm called Dunamba. Most people have heard the name Dunamba. They know it's the dance of the strong man and all this other kind of stuff. And all of that is true. But you may not know, the djembe parts for all Dunambas are exactly the same. Every Dunamba has the same djembe parts. And we've already gone over them. Those 6/8, or those ternary beats that I showed you. And its partner. That's it. Every Dunamba, and they're in other things too, like Soli and Soko and Manjani. They're in a bunch of things, those two parts, but they're in every Dunamba. Another thing that every Dunamba shares is the Kinkini part. Every Kinkini part in every Dunamba, at least the ones I've encountered, is the same beat, like this. Now remember we were talking about those bell parts, and one of them I said tap your foot and don't play where your foot taps. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6. Remember that little thing? That's the bell part for the Kinkini part for Dunamba. Let me play the whole part, and you'll see it's not all that difficult. And then when we count it, then you go, wait a second. I thought it wasn't difficult. What happened? Check it out. That's the Kinkini part for every Dunamba. So the two Djembe parts and the Kinkini part for all the Dunambas, all 587,000 of them, however many there are, they're all the same. Only thing that changes is the Sangban and the Dunamba. Right? Now check this beat out. We've got that's not so hard to do by itself, right? A bell, and then the bell and the drum, bell and drum, bell and drum. Right? Not too bad. Here's the trick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the only thing that makes it even a little bit weird, is that it's just not on the beat. It's on the two notes that aren't on the beat, right? And again, at that tempo, it's not too bad. But you play it. Da, 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 da. All of a sudden, whoa, 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 whoa. It becomes a juggling act, right? But if you do it a little bit, you get used to it, and you find it's not so bad. But check this out. The easiest way to keep time to this thing, listen to the djembes. It goes exactly with the djembes, right? The space is the slaps on the djembes. Pa to pa, pa to pa, pa to pa. So you're not playing on those slaps. Pa, 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 pa. That's where you're not playing. The one drum by itself, that goes with djembe 1. And the other one goes with djembe 2. Ba, 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 ba. Right? So let me try this. I'm going to see if I can pull this off. Let's bring that song up there, Kimbo. The second song.
Yeah.
We're looking at a thing called, well, right now we're just doing the things that are the same in all Dunamba, so it doesn't matter which Dunamba we're looking at. So I'll get to that part in a second. Did you bring up the second song?
What do you
cool. I want the djembes in, djembe 1 and 2 in, and the kinkini. Oh, you're taking them out. Put them back in. So just take out the sangban. No, that's kinkini.
I can't read.
There we go. Take out the Dunamba and take out the shiveri. All right, now here's what we're going to do. Take out the kinkini for now. I'm going to put that back in, and I'll do that. Yeah. You missed it. You got to move over a little. There you go. And djembe 2. All right, here. Let me take over here. All right, so check this out. This is djembe 1. Djembe 1, which we talked about. Let me play Djembe 2. Now you're not going to hear the call on this because it's Djembe 2. Pull those other things in a minute. Okay, cool. All right. So were you able to hear that? How those tones on the drum, on the kinkini, coincide with the tones on the djembe, the two different tones, right? So. Right? Those are the same notes that you're playing on the kinkini on the drum, right? Were you able to hear that? Because that's an important connection to make there for understanding Dunamba. All right, so that's the trick. They're the notes you're playing on the drum. Right? Does everybody get that part? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. So anyway, now what we'll do, let's see. Good. All right, so what we're going to do, I'll show you these other bass drum parts. This is for a specific Dunamba thing called Dunamba. And even though Dunamba is the dance of the strong men and warriors dance and all that kind of stuff, Dunamba was named after a great female dancer. So they actually made this in honor of her. Which I thought was really cool, and I just love the way these bass drums sound together. You'll hear it in a moment. So let me show you those bass drums really quick. All right, the Dunamba part is a very common Dunamba part in many different kinds of songs, not just Dunamba, but you'll hear it in other things. Check this out. So now this has the songban and the Dunamba in this particular version have a very simple bell. It's that one I call the shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the drum goes like this. So you hear there's kind of like a short side and a long side. So one's got ba-boom, ba-boom, and the other one, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It's one little pair longer, right? And that's a very common theme on the Dunamba drum. Not necessarily in all Dunambas, but in Dunamba playing overall. So let me do this again for you. Now check this out. This is going to come in right after the call, before the other drums come in, like this. Ba, da. Sorry. Ba, ba. Everybody get that one pretty good? All right, check this out now. Songbond. This one's a little tricky. If you don't get this, don't feel bad. It's got a little syncopation in it. Anybody who played trap drums, drum set, or anything like that, it won't be too tricky. But otherwise, it's got one little tricky bit in it. But anyway, check it out. So same bell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just that one little part is a little tricky. The rest of it's pretty easy, right? Check this out. You're going to come in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's not so bad. Right? Right? Everybody got that part? Okay, cool. Now, the little syncopated part goes like this. This is a little tricky. If you don't get this right away, don't worry about it. It just takes time. Can we see that? So I hit together, then the bell, the drum, the bell, together. Again, like I said, if you play trap drums or something, you're like, well, that's no big deal, Dave. And if you play that, yeah, it's not a big deal. You do it all the time. But if you're not used to that, it's a little tricky. As it gets faster, it actually gets a little easier to do once you understand it. When you do it slow, it doesn't sound like anything. You know what I mean? It's easier to perform, but it doesn't sound like anything. That's the trick, is that one drum in the middle. Is everybody getting that? That little juggling act right there? Right? So you put the whole thing together like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, So now, if you're having a little trouble with this, you could probably do something like this. But you might end up not staying in time. That's the only trick with that. If you can keep this bell going. Whoops. It's you know you're going to stay in time that way because your bell is the same as the Dunamba bell. So here, I'm going to play this for you real quick. I know we're running out of time here. All right, can you turn on this thing here? But I want them to hear just these two parts real quick. Shut off this. Shut off this. Shut off this. Good. Turn this on. Keep that off. And then we're going to turn that on in a minute. Okay, I'm sorry, turn this one off, turn on the Dunamba. Yeah. We're going to start with the Dunamba. Here we go. Go ahead. 3. 2, 3. Here comes the song button. Click. Hear how they work together? Chance if you can turn on all of those things. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's how they sound together in this particular version of Dunamba called Dunamba.
Not the ballet tunes?
Yeah, no, wait, there's no ballet tunes in this one. Turn everything on this one. Okay. And we'll play it in a second. Just rewind. Okay, cool. Don't play it just yet. Okay, cool. So could you hear how they kind of work together in tandem there, kind of around each other in a way? That kind of thing, right? All right. I know that's a lot of information real quick. Any questions on that stuff? Everybody pretty good? All right. So here's what I was going to do for the last couple minutes, even though I know it's already 6:30. We'll just we'll play around for a few seconds here. We started a little bit late. So anyway, what we'll do is pick one of the 6/8 parts. You could play the kinkini part if you want, or one of the djembe parts. Or, and we'll play to Dunamba here on our way out here. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something and had some fun doing it. Any questions, you can always email us, and all that kind of stuff. Anything else?
No. Come see us on Wednesday nights for djembe class.
There you go. Come see us on Wednesday night for djembe class. All right, let's play a little bit. All right, guys. I hope you had fun. Hope you learned some stuff. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can ask questions now, or if you have any questions, you can always email or whatever. And hopefully we'll see you again. Anybody have any questions? No, everybody's good? All right, cool.
We'll be the last ones on.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. When's the next one?
We have Valentine's Day weekend. I think it's February 13th, and it's a Middle Eastern drum circle with a dance class at the beginning of it. So if you tune in early, you've got the dance class. Carla will send everything to you guys, but February 13th, this is the next drum circle.
And then there will be.
And what time does the dance class start?
The drum circle starts at 7, so we start at 6:30.
Okay.
Yep, 6:30. If you tune in early at 6:30, we can dance, and then 7 starts the drum circle.
Okay. See you then.
All right.
Cool, guys.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be the last ones on, so you guys can exit. We'll be here until everybody's gone.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks.
Leave.